What it do, what it is, y'all? It's your girl Black Pop, aka Soda Baby, aka Asuka. And you're now tuned in Soda Talks TV. I know. This is a very dark, strange subject that a lot of us don't like to look at. And I've actually been wanting to talk about this for a couple of weeks, but I wasn't too sure how comfortable I was, and I still need to do some more research and stuff. But, you know, sometimes life happens to people around you, and it's just like, you see, you should have followed your inclination to talk about that anyway, and it's just like, damn, life. Like, sometimes you're embarrassed of life, that to watch someone go through what you went through for the first time, in a way, it's like, damn, God, like, you could have me up. Like, why did you could have, I could have handled whatever that was. Why would you let someone so sweet go through this? And it's the inevitable equalizer of us all, death. And we're going to be talking about embracing death, but I honestly even think about it, it's like, I can't expect anyone to accept death if they've never experienced it. Even a part of me comes more to life thinking that at any moment this can all be over. There could be a leak going on in this house right now and this shit blow up and this video will never be uploaded. And I remember my first time, like, experiencing, like, not experiencing, but understanding it, what death really was. I had to be like about 4, maybe 5 years old, and in my first grade classroom, maybe 5, 6, I remember watching Rugrats, and they were talking about how Chucky's mom died, and they made a song for her, and I broke down. And I'm looking at these other kids like, do y'all not realize that his mom is dead? Like, y'all are lost in the cartoon. You're not realizing that this kid doesn't have a mom. And this can happen to me one day. No. And then you just start going in that denial. And it's just like, it's so sad, because death would be able to be more accepted if it wasn't pain attached to it. But death is pain. I remember when Kobe died. Like, I remember everything. I was in the buffet, like, watching this burning helicopter, and I'm just like, Kobe, like, and I was never attached to sports. I'm not into sports, but it hit so hard because you just never see it coming. And it's just one of those things that takes a piece of you every time you realize it and you ponder on it. Like, it's more impactful when it's someone that hasn't fully lived their whole life. Like, even when Michael Jackson died, that was a thing. It was like, wow. But it's like, Michael Jackson was kind of sick, and we didn't expect it coming, but he was older. Even DMX, it was like, wow, but he was on drugs. Kobe Bryant was still young and fresh, and it's just like, what are the odds that his helicopter was going to crash the way that it did? And it happened. And this is why the saying goes that the youth is wasted on the young. Why? Because you think you have tomorrow. You think you have all this time. You don't have time, bro. Like, you don't have time. But death is one of those things that makes you realize you don't have time, but at the same time, reminding you to don't take it so hard. Like, take life easy, because unfortunately in society, we only like to highlight the good stuff, the pretty stuff. We don't like to highlight the real dark side, because death is a subject that you can't make money off of until you die. And a lot of society's fears and a lot of society's laziness comes from the suppression of death, comes from not, looking at that inevitable reality that is promised, because life isn't promised, but death is. It's just one of those subjects that makes you realize how small you are. And there's things out there bigger than you. And it's easy to talk about now because it hasn't happened to me yet. But, in the back of my mind, I know that I will be panicking and going down screaming if it just happened and I wasn't ready for it, like a natural death. But, knowing that one day this will end, it helps me embrace the ending in every situation, because when you're holding on for something, when you're holding on for dear life, you're gonna die anyway. So it's like, it gives you a choice of how do you want things to end. You gotta accept the ending in every situation, in love, in friendships, in jobs, and situations. I'm always asking myself, when this ends, how do you want this to go? Because you have a choice when you accept death. You get to choose how you want to go out. And a lot of people don't want to look at that. They don't want to look at death. So they go out in ways that they don't really want to go out. And even if you go out soon and you have a certain passion or something, people are going to remember you for that. The thing that you loved. That's why it's so tied in with your purpose at the same time. You may not live or see your passions through to see you selling out anything, but if you die and you're working on your art, you're working on your music or your craft, people are gonna remember you as that musician who was so passionate. When people die, they exaggerate that, and essentially you go viral. People remember you for that thing that you love. People remember you for how you portrayed yourself. Sadly, we remember Kevin Samuels for, unfortunately, it was medicine in the candy, but it was still very negative. And some people who are smaller than him, who may have passed on and they were doing music, will remember him. He was next up, the greatest rapper in town, on his come up. And then his music goes viral. Your art goes viral, for that moment, for that year. And then the next year comes. Some people will remember you, but you will be one day forgotten and no one's going to care. Sadly. So this is why, I don't know why I always be trying to not try to talk about your purpose and go for it, because I know how much energy it takes. Because even me, if I was to die right now, at least I tried. I did the music thing. The music will find, oh my God, she was so good. She was so smart. YouTube. And then I die. Some people may remember me next year, but everyone is going to forget me and not going to care. That's why people are in a rush to have their kids, because I need to leave my generation. How will I be remembered? And people try to put that pressure on their kids of purpose when they need to be putting it on themselves. It doesn't matter how good you are, at least you tried. In death, people will honor you. Because there's still people who honor Kevin Samuels for his teachings, but at the same time, you go out doing what you love, whether that's loving to hate certain people in this world or loving your craft and really having some type of a message and in your existence, whether it's on YouTube or just being a good person in real life, and not accepting that things will end one day. That's the reason behind all of our procrastination. You say you're going to do it today. No, do it right now. You can go after work or you can go before work. Who remembers that goddamn commercial? Honestly, because you say you're going to do it today and then today turns into tomorrow. Then you say you're going to do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow turns into next week. Then you say you're going to do it to next week. Then next week turns into next month. Then next month turns into next year. And then it's like, at what point do you realize that you're just lying to yourself? Like, and sometimes I just be remembering certain near-death experiences that I've had. Like, bro, this shit could have been over a long time ago, a couple of times. Like, let me tell you about a time it could have been over. One time I went to a little event that I was a part of hosting, went by myself because I was just so gung-ho about it. It's like, do the thing, live your dreams, do the thing and live your dreams, but make sure you're safe. Went to a hosting by myself in the rain. Like, girl, are you so serious? Sometimes I'd be too gung-ho, but went to a hosting by myself, realize that, I may have to leave a little early because my phone is dying because I'm by my freaking self. And of course, what happens? My phone dies. Don't know nobody there, wasn't comfortable enough to talk to the person that I booked the hosting with. But, I was like, all right, I got to get home, try to get a ride from a random guy because you've done it so many times. You think, oh, you're always going to get home safe, whatever. Only for this person to drive you to his home and ask you for a little sucky or you ain't going nowhere. Yes! Yes, it happened. I'm just like, oh my God, my stupid. It's just one of those moments, like, you just want it to be over, and when it can't be over, it's just like, what the am I doing in where was I? Uptown DC. You from Silver Spring. Silver Spring is not DC. DC is not Silver Spring. And, I could tell that it wasn't a lot of pressure, but I could tell that he wanted what he wanted from me. And I was like, no. And then he started getting a little more aggressive to the point that he pulled a gun out on me. Yes! My stupid I'm just like, yo, this is about to be over, Lord. Well, I did it. I did it! And, he pulled the gun out on me, tried to scare me to just do, but I was like, nah, just kill me. Just kill me. And, he got out of character. He went back to normal and called me an Uber and sent me on my way. And thank God I've moved from that address that I gave for that Uber. Another damn near life-death situation. About 4 or 5 years old. A lot of stuff happened to me at 5 years old around that. That's when I started remembering stuff. Like, probably younger than that. Walking to freaking 7-Eleven with my cousin who's younger than me to go get some candy. To a 4 and 5-year-old, just about that age, walking. By God's grace, the police was already in that 7-Eleven. Like, where are your parents? We're like, oh, they left. They're coming back. You're like, so what are you guys doing here? We're just getting candy. We're buying our candy, whatever. Like, get you guys candy. Let's make sure you guys get home. So you guys are going to come with us. Rode us to that goddamn police station. I remember like it was yesterday. I was watching Doug, eating whatever I was eating. They left a sticky note on the door. We went to the station and her parents came and picked us up, and I was in a lot of trouble after that. What's another near-death experience? Another near-death experience, well, when moments that you realize that this could all be over. I was about 10 years old in my apartment building, coming from the candy store downstairs, riding up the elevator with a strange man, alone, walking to my home. And he's watching me walk to my home. And I turn around. He's like, because he's calling me. He's like, and I'm just like, no! I run and slam my door closed. I'm just like, oh my God, that man could have killed me. Paranoid to go home, go out the door. Like, if he knows where I live, if he recognizes I'm that kid, who knows what he could have done. He could have took advantage of me. It's always gonna be hard to accept death because you can't separate the pain from it. It's always so shocking and jolting, like the first time every time you hear about it, especially when it's happening to you or someone you know nearby. It's like a part of you dies when you hear it so closely. And the best way you can make peace with it, the best way to make peace with death is see dying as joining the brotherhood of consciousness that always was. Robert Greene said that in his book of Laws of Human Nature. And that man, I just be like, damn, how the f he be coming up with all this shit? Only when you realize that the end is near and things are ending is when you want to live. When you realize your girl is really done with you is when you want to start acting right. When you realize you're about to die or it's time, you start feeling the difference of father time, you want to have your family. You want to start that thing. You want to do that business. And sadly, society is so backwards because it paints aging and maturing and getting old as a bad thing when you should really want to live long like the people that you look up to and make fun of. And in death, we see the morality of us all. We're all equalized out. You see the you in me and the me in you in death. And even in life, you see the me in you and the you in me. In your purpose, you see the you in me and the me in you. And it's a lot of the reason why people think that we take each other's ideas, because we all have that spark. We all have that thing that ignites, lights us, that passion that lights us up. And that's our life force. That's your soul. And unfortunately, a lot of people are just haters because you're hating on the next person because they're doing what they want to do, when that hate really comes from the fact that you know you can do this shit, but you're just too lazy to do it because you can. To me, it is truly your life's task to bring your uniqueness to fruition and follow your inclination. Don't be ashamed of your weirdness. Your weirdness is your soul. It's your key to who you are. You know, following your life task, following a purpose, a dream even, is just like having a baby. It's like being that sperm that you were, swimming to an egg. Because a million of them all, you could have died off with the rest of them. You came, you're here. And, you know, you're really living when you wake up that part of you that is struggling to learn. But it's rewarding when you actually like it. Struggling to learn something new can feel like a good pain. It's like, it's that passion because you actually like it. And that's your life force telling you, yes, this is who you are. Because the better you get at something, the more you start to see how you can improve what you actually know, because it's that passion. It's your life force. You don't just want to put anything out there. And because you're young and you think you have all this time, you tend to think that you're more special than you actually are. But when you let go of your ego, you're able to see that things can happen. Because this person is doing it, you can do it too. It just really has to be a part of you. It doesn't really have to be what you like. It's just inspiration, like, wow, this really happened. Yes, that can be you too. Essentially, we all need a little bit of death in our life, because when we have certain experiences of death, near-death experiences, it's that alarming reminder of your soul talking to you like, hey, I'm here for a reason, you know. And there's even certain drugs can give you certain trips where you'll see the end of the universe, like ayahuasca, certain shrooms and psychedelics. And even weed can induce and make you see signs and patterns of other universes. But I'm not here to encourage y'all to do drugs and stuff like that. But it's true. And yeah, this is part 1 of embracing death. But you know, y'all let me know. So let me know what y'all think about the promise of the end. And yeah, let me know what y'all think of the comments. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at It's Black Pup. Follow my backup page, So Talk CB. And we're going into the next video.